Hello, everyone. This is Duran's Healing, and welcome to tonight's Healing Circle. For those of you who are new here, welcome to my channel, where I provide weekly energetic updates for the collective. And as I began to blaze this fire tonight, gather around and contribute your very powerful energy. Whether it be a like, a share, subscribe, or comment below to let me know how these messages are showing up in your world. And for those of you who are new here, my name is Duran's Healing, and I provide cowrie shell divination readings. This is an ancient indigenous technology system where I use crystals, stones, bones, and a lot of other assorted items here in conjunction with the 5 elements: the fire, the water, the earth, the nature, and the mineral. And this technology system allows me to see the energies moving throughout the cosmos. And with that being said, I would like to jump right into the stones to see what's going on out here in the cosmos. And the message that's speaking the loudest is coming from your spirit guides, your ancestor team, or your higher team, and it's landing itself in nature, suggesting to me that change is on the horizon, or you're at this threshold of change in your world, and you may be feeling that right now. And this change has more to do with what's coming, what you're coming out of, and what you're stepping into. And being that the doll that represents you is right at the edge of this change, what I'm seeing here is that you may be feeling this threshold in your world. It may be calm, it may be quiet, it may be feeling like you've cleared out the space. But this space clearing is more like an entry pathway into what's coming, into the change that you're feeling that's brewing up in your world. And being that the doll is landing in a particular way, I can see that some of you in the collective may be thinking ahead, or maybe thinking about the changes that you're picking up on. Preparing yourself, organizing yourself, synchronizing your energy to the very vibration that you're tapped into. And on the other side, I can see that you may be tying up loose ends. You may be closing out certain cycles. You may be closing the door on certain situations that you may have left open. This is due to this transition that you're in, the transition that this other world is speaking to. But what I can also see here is that not only is your body merging itself with this energy, you're consciously adapting to it as well on an actual intellectual level, on a conscious level. And you may not know why you're feeling this push or feeling this urge to move in a different direction, to change jobs, to change a course of action, to shift your energy in a totally new direction. But it has to do with the energies that are moving. It has to do with the fact that you are tapped into the frequencies moving, and it's more about what you're devoted to. You're devoted to this higher cause. You're devoted to this expansive side of yourself, which allows you to stretch yourself with the frequencies moving, to expand yourself to the frequencies around you, so that you can gain a clearer vision, so you can gain a deeper insight as to what you're stepping into. Being that your devotion stone is landing in nature, I can see you expanding yourself out almost like a vine. a poison ivy of the character, the animated DC comic is what I'm seeing here. Stretching yourself with the energies of change so that you can see or gain a little bit more insight surrounding the boundlessness of your frequency, surrounding the boundlessness of the energies around you. There is something here that I'm picking up in the stones surrounding you, stretching yourself and moving according with the information that you're picking up on. What I'm seeing is the path of clarity. You're starting to see very clearly what you're involved in, the web that you're weaving in the time-space continuum surrounding your contribution to this world. Oh, this is very large, what I'm gathering here. What I'm picking up on in this thread of consciousness is that as you expand, as you allow yourself to stretch with the changes that are coming in your world, you're starting to see very clearly that this has something to do with your gift. Your contribution to change, to this world, to this paradigm, and you're picking up on that. And this sight or this clarity that you're picking up on due to you stretching, you're sensing that is coming down. These energies are moving and it will hit the paradigm that you live in. That is what your spidey senses is picking up on as you gain clarity surrounding this thread of consciousness. But not only that, in this vine or this current thread of consciousness, as you see the boundlessness of your energy, not only are you gaining insight surrounding your contribution or you distributing something to this world that is so profound that it will change it. And I will table this message because this is something very powerful. But this is also stretching you to, I'm getting this zone here. It's almost like there's something ancient within you that is gaining insight or gaining information on what is hidden. Something that is buried deep in your bones that the world cannot see, but your vibration, whatever that is buried deep within you, has the knowledge to tap into it. What I'm seeing is that some of you in the collective may be working on things, working and cultivating something that is hidden from the very world around you, hidden from the community that the current thread or the current collective may not be attuned to. But your sight, your visions, your bone level frequency, and your capacity to stretch has the wherewithal to tap into it. But this thread of consciousness is looking like a zigzag, almost like a maze. So this lets me know what you're working on is a puzzle, something that has been puzzling you for a very long time. And you have been quietly cultivating, curating your understanding around this issue, this energy that has been burning you up, that has been rooted in your bones, to uncover it, to unveil it. And this wisdom stone here lets me know it's attached to an intellectual property. Intellectual knowing that your bones have information on, and you've been trying to figure your way out this maze to get to the outcome, to get to the answer. But this thing that you have been working on has really tasked you to figure out your fitness, to figure out your level of skill, to solve this riddle, to solve this puzzle, but it's really complex. This has tasked you over and over again. I'm seeing a maze, but I'm seeing a very complex maze. Like it comes with levels. It comes with a staircase. This zigzag is more like a very challenging and comprehensive riddle surrounding the changes in your world that has impacted you so much you wanted to figure it out. And you have been focused in on it, hiding yourself away so that the world do not know what it is. But the energies around you have quietly kept you devoted towards it, because you've been trying for so long to solve this riddle. But at every phase, you gain a little bit more knowledge about it. You gain a little bit more insight about it. However, there is something here of this obstacle that has been preventing you from solving this riddle. At every phase, you successfully achieve a different level, but this obstacle keeps you from achieving this outcome that you've been trying to get to. You have not figured your way out of this maze. You have elevated in levels, but you have not successfully achieved it just yet. And I don't know what this obstacle is, but what I can see here is that some of you in the collective have been working very tirelessly surrounding this riddle, surrounding this puzzle. Something in your heart, something in your orbit. I don't know if this is a very puzzling riddle here that you know about, that you have yet to uncover, that has been hidden away from the world around you, that has been hidden away from people, and only you know what this is. This is a very interesting piece of thread of consciousness here. And what I would like to do at this time, I would like to pull some cards on this very interesting thread of energy here to dive deeper into what you have gained insight or gain awareness about surrounding your contribution to this world. And the other side, in terms of you stretching yourself, surrounding this hidden riddle, this hidden puzzle that has been radiating in your bones, that you've been working towards for quite some time. But this obstacle is sitting outside of it. So what I will do at this time is pull some cards to gain a little bit more insight around this thread of consciousness. What is this path of clarity and Beru stone about for the collective? And in terms of this clarity stone surrounding your contribution to change, the cards that came out were personal relationship, reduction, time travel, artisan of one's own change, history, and art. And what I'm downloading here is that some of you have stretched yourself beyond the people that you were closely associated with. You did not know that you were going to go beyond the borders. You did not know that your spiritual energy would take you this far. But this has more to do with the conditioning of these relationships, these kinds of relationships that you were connected with or involved with. Now that this transition or this threshold of change is in your world, forcing you to go beyond yourself, expand yourself out to see what it is energetically, you're realizing that you're much bigger than you have ever expected. The very things that you picked up on, these little cues, these little signs that you felt in the relationships around you, something cued you into reductionism. Like, though they came with things that made you feel full, but there were some aspects of it that reduced you, is what I'm gathering here. And a part of you stretching was counter to reduction. And you had to make a choice in this day and time, at this day and hour, whether you were going to exceed beyond the current conditions you were in, or you were going to time travel. That's how large I was seeing this energy on. It was very big. Time traveling came out. Your energy is so large. It has the capacity to go beyond the time-space continuum, to pull you into different time zones, different time trajectories, dimensionally, geographically, and the relationships that you were involved in. In order for you to stay in them, you had to minimize yourself to sustain them. And there was this peak, there was this moment in time of this transition forced you to make a decision. Wow, very large download that I'm getting. And not only that, your large energy forced you to make a higher decision. What it also allowed you to do was become an artisan of one's own change. Like, you are a part of making history, making art. Like, I'm just seeing you cutting through a threshold of consciousness where you're curating history. You're creating a new form of art. And if you stayed in a certain vibration, if you stayed attached, or I'm just seeing attachment styles, or trauma bonding, if you stayed in this vibration, you would miss out on the opportunity to become large, to cut through the time-space continuum, to time travel along this threshold of energy that's here. And your energy is stretching itself so far out that you, in the energy that you're carrying, has the capacity to bring forth this level of change, this type of change to this world. And you chose the latter. You chose to take a higher course of action. And though the space that you may be in may feel very empty, may feel like this blank space, but the truth of the matter here is that you're truly traveling with time. You're traveling with the time-space continuum that is clearing out any energy that attempts to reduce your vibration down. Choosing a higher path is what I'm getting here. But this higher path is about two subjects: history and art. The history of the cosmos. The history of the continuum of time is what you're tapped into. And something in your vibration and you stretching so far out allows you to see the history of where you come from and where you're going. And something in this pinpoint, it's like you're drawing this line in the sand. You're seeing where the flag is being raised in the energy that you're in right now, and you're making the decision to create art, to move with art, to move in art. But this art is about the frequency, moving in the vibration of the cosmos that is creating this very beautiful painting in the cosmos, so much so it will be marked as a Mona Lisa. I'm just seeing something cutting off something to obtain something, cutting off of an ear of Vincent van Gogh. Cut off his ear. You're cutting off a different vibration that you were attached to in order to create art, to create a moment in history where your energy have the capacity to express or stretch itself out to the world around it so that it can feel the vibration counter to the world around it. It may not be viewed as art in the moment in time. However, as time continues to move, they will cement your energy in time. The world around you will cement the vibration that you're on by choosing to move out of one space and into another as a breakthrough in art, as a breakthrough in the consciousness, as a breakthrough in history. That is the contribution you're making to the world around you. Very large message in the cosmos. This is a very large energy that I'm picking up on for some of you in the collective. And as you continue to stretch, it sends you on this maze. But you've been sent on this maze is what I'm gathering here for a very long time. I'm seeing even in childhood. The cards that came out in terms of this maze that you're in and you're trying to find your way out of, that is hidden away from the current community, were exercise, wield your power, refusing to suffer, witches, turbulence, and spiritual boundaries. And what I'm downloading here is that some of you in the collective have been exercising your spiritual rights for a very long time. You have been standing your ground in the matter of spirit since you were a child, seeing through and cultivating. I'm seeing someone in a gym. You have been building and fortifying your spiritual strength to help you wield your power. It's like you knew you had the capacity to be a bodybuilder, to be a spiritual leader in the realm that you live in. But something in the world around you, even in your childhood, has told you or shunned you for far too long, for many years, gaslighting. Something in this energy lets me know that the family system, the home front that you grew up in, even in your inception, was counter to the very vibration that you were on. And you refusing to suffer lets me know that you created a different world for yourself. You did not take what the home front tried to give you about yourself. You did not take the words. You did not take their wording. You did not take the imagery of what they were trying to paint about you, but instead you cultivated a different world for yourself because you refused to suffer. You allowed the words to roll off the back of your neck. And instead, you continue to create, to exercise this spiritual strength within you to fortify your power. And this energy continued to grow with you as you became a young adult, as you became an adult. And it led you into this maze. Witches came out. See, you not only created this world for yourself, you started to study. You started to create potions. You started to create remedies, testing solutions, testing different ingredients to cure your own self, to cure the very thing that you were running from. You knew there was something in you. You knew that you had something to discover. Instead of allowing the world around you, even in your home front, to shut this down, instead you became a master of remedies, a studier, trying to figure out what this energy was, and the turbulence that you picked up on every step of your way allowed you to create these spiritual boundaries. But what I'm getting here, these spiritual boundaries are more like you failing at a recipe. The bread did not come out quite right. But you've learned from that. You've learned to add a little bit more yeast, to add a little bit more oil, to let the flour sit out just a little bit longer. Something in this energy of this maze lets me know you were quite the scientist. Even I'm seeing a young scientist testing the theories of your energy, knowing that you were equipped with this spiritual energy within you, but you used yourself as a test dummy, as a guinea pig, hidden away from society, trying to figure out why you were who you were, trying to figure out your energies, trying to figure out why you thought the way that you did, why you have this level of depth that you have. Mastering this spiritual recipe. But as you elevate, you get a little bit closer. As you go down this maze, you get a little bit closer to the solution, but somehow this obstacle keeps reappearing over and over again. And I'm interested now in this obstacle. By God, this is a very interesting thread of consciousness. And what I will do at this time, I would like to pull some cards on this obstacle that is showing up in the spread and in the cards here to gain a little bit more insight of what you all have been encountering in terms of your quest to figure out or to get out this maze. Something was here that kept circling over and over again, preventing you from successfully achieving this. I'm seeing you were achieving different levels, mastering your skill set, mastering your gift, but something in this obstacle prevented you from achieving, getting out of this cycle, hidden away from society. What is this obstacle about for the collective? And in terms of this obstacle, the cards that came out were narcissistic traits, opening your eyes, impossible, is true, pressure, and duty. And what I'm downloading here is that some of you in the collective may have been surrounded by energies that were carrying narcissistic traits. But this narcissistic traits isn't necessarily about narcissism. It may be for some of you, but what I'm gathering here is more like energies of a low vibration. And something about your energy being so loving, being so careful and carefree, you did not know the depth of the low vibration the energies around you were, nor did you know how it impacted your energy. And as you matured, because I saw this energy starting out at childhood, you were innocent and your energy was vibrating on a very high level, so much so that you were skilled enough to cultivate your own world. But at every level or at every phase where you achieved a certain level of information and insight, your eyes begin to open to the information around you, to the energies around you. And something in this still registers to me that this narcissistic or low vibrational energy was still circulating around you, keeping you or preventing you from getting out of this maze. And you did not know that it was impacting you on this level, but your energy was still so powerful. Your energy was still so potent that it helped you succeed. Even the most impossible of situations, you got out of things that you did not know that you could achieve due to your sight, due to your awareness, due to the truth in you radiating so loudly that even the darkest of energies couldn't keep you down. You still kept elevating. You still kept searching, researching, and rising through this maze, moving through the puzzle, putting the pieces together because you knew the truth. But this vibration stayed circulating around you. Due to your open-heartedness, due to your vibration being so sensitive, seeing the light in people, not knowing the vibration that they were carrying was still weighing you down, was still being this obstacle in your world. But now that the tide has turned, now that the change that the other world is speaking to is in your world, you're seeing the truth of the light. You're seeing very clearly what energies, what type of energies that keeps your vibration at a certain level. Even as you rise, certain energies around you weighs you down, keeping you from successfully achieving or getting through this maze, and the pressure mounts, not knowing where it's coming from, not knowing who it's coming from, because there is something in your duty that keeps you ascending, that keeps you going no matter what you're around. But your eyes being open now to the energies, the information surrounding these energies, so you can move accordingly, knowing that this is the type of frequency that keeps me at a certain level. No matter how heightened you get, this obstacle is vibration. This obstacle is energy. And this thing in you is starting to see that certain people cannot be around you. Certain vibrations cannot be in your orbit if you want to manifest your dream, if you want to get out of this maze. And you're realizing the alarm is being sent off to you through something ancient, through your bones. This is the last level. You will have to keep cycling in over and over again, because you can see the truth of the energies around you. But the key here is that as you see them, they see you. And you're preparing yourself to move into this new phase, move past this cycle or this obstacle, because the change is here. Very interesting message here. A line of duty. You're in a line of duty, and people are casualties of war. And something in your energy, no matter how much the pressure mounts, you're starting to realize it's about frequency, it's about energy, it's about vibration. And now that you can see the dawn of day, you're moving accordingly. Very large message here in the cards surrounding the obstacle. Thank you all for being here and contributing your very powerful energy. And if you stayed thus far in this very blazing fire, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, or comment below to let me know how these messages are showing up in your world. And at this time, I would like to dive back into the stones to see what's on the other side of this obstacle that you're being aware of, that your eyes are opening to. And what I'm gathering here in the stones is that the energies are moving. You are moving accordingly and moving around these energies. And your platform of power here, it's like you're getting an award or a reward because you've gained light or gained insight on this mission, so that you can achieve or finally get to the finish line of this maze that you've been working on, that you've been cultivating, that you've been curating for yourself in the shadows. And now that this threshold of change is here, your power is being ignited. And it's sitting between two different elements. It's sitting between the nature and the fire, meaning your power is encompassing one of confidence. People are going to have to move around you now. You can see them very clearly. You can see the very frequency that they're radiating on, and you're not making excuses for them anymore. You're in a different level of warriorship. You're in a different level of frequency now that you're moving into this space. And on the other side is your fire, something coming from the ancestral realm. knowing that you're tapped into the spirit. Oh, people must be aware of the energy that you're moving into, because it's one of power, one of spiritual confidence, and of spiritual leadership. No one will be able to tell you anything, even if they tell you things. The power that you're grounded in is one of security. Not having to counter what they're saying, not having to feed them back what they're feeding to you. Instead, your energy from this platform of power is moving in sureness, confidence, radiating an otherworldly energy. Not only that, standing tall in what you feel and what you will be saying. And this power from the other world is sitting in your creativity. Your creativity stone is sitting on top of your platform of power, which lets me know, however you decide to express your frequency out, it will be felt like an otherworldly energy. People will not know where this energy is coming from. They may peg you as a certain vibration. They may think that you come with a peaceful and a soft nature, but the energy that you're embodying will hit them like heat. An otherworldly informational source of creativity. Expressing yourself, whether it be through communication, whether it be through your arts, whether it be through history, whether it be through whatever means you have the free will to do it, it will be felt like an otherworldly source, like it's coming from something that they did not know that was embodied by this frequency, is what I'm gathering here. And we're landing in the flame, and I'm already feeling the heat. I am sweating. And what I'm gathering in the flame is that in this other world, for those of you who are new here, the flame or the heat symbolizes the spirit world, the ancestral world. And it allows me to see what's conversations, what communication that's going on in this realm. And what I'm seeing is the organizational stone here, sitting all by itself with no shells around it. And what I'm downloading here is that the other world has been quietly organizing a very unique and a very specific energy to hit this paradigm. They're wanting the frequency of this vibration to be felt. And also what I'm downloading is that it's time. You have worked for far too long. You have cultivated yourself in the shadows for far too long. Now they're organizing the frequencies around their hemisphere, around their realm, so that it can reach the paradigm. And as I look further in this spread, the transformation is here. And something in my energy wanted to read where this stone was when I first read the initial message surrounding change and transformation, because it's coming from somewhere. And I wanted to see the source, but now that I can see who is fueling this transformation in your world, and it's coming from the spirit world, it's coming from your ancestor team, your spirit guide, sending this transformation or this change in your world to shift the trajectory of things. And the transformation is here because next to your intimate relationship ring, sitting inside of the water stone, the people around you will feel this first. The people closest to you will feel this heat from you, will feel a shift in your energy first, causing them to create change in their own world by the very frequency of your voice. You're not here to be in the midst of the crowd, keeping things the same, radically different than what the vibration of the very frequency of where you come from is radiating on. change makers. You're coming from a line or a lineage of change agents is what I'm gathering here. And not only will the people feel it first, the key of access is here, sitting inside of the element of mineral, the community, which lets me know that something in this frequency gives you access to unlock what is hidden in community. So what I'm downloading here is that for you, it is in plain sight, but for the people or the community around you, it is hidden. So very powerful download that I'm getting. The very downloads and the information in this maze that you've been working on and cultivating in the shadow is the very key to the thing that is hidden in the community around you, and you have access to unlock it, to unleash it to the world around you, and it will be revealed in the story, in your autobiography, in the art, in the history that you create. And what I'm downloading here in this mineral stone is that there's something about your story when it reaches the people that will hit it like a meteorite, like a large pillar that they do not expect. You're going to hit the world by way of your story, unlocking the very thing that was hidden from the community, and is what you've been working on. And as this mineral stone sits here, there's a large pile of shells and stones circulating around it. I'm not getting your story or your autobiography per se, but what I can pick up in the stones is an overview of what the world will feel from your story. It's like you're showing people your story by the way that you move, by the way that you move around the paradigm, by who you associate with. You don't tell the story, you show it. And the narration of your story is in the stones. And what I'm gathering here is in this overview is that people are knowing, or people will know, that you are a truth teller, one who tells the truth and operates in authenticity. Yeah, you tell it like it is. You're the kind of person that thrives in the energy of truth, and you challenge people around you to become truthful. Something in your story, what I'm seeing is that there will be a lighting of your path. Even from childhood, something in this energy keeps ringing over and over about your childhood. You have been moving in authenticity and in truth since you were a child. And every shred of your expansion in your story will reveal this. Hitting different populations, hitting different groups that you've encountered along your path. And no matter who and what you encounter, truth will be revealed. Authenticity will be exposed in your story. Not only that, the narrative in these groups, in these subdivisions, in these dynamics that you've worked in, that you've cultivated, that you've created art in, that you've created history in, all these subdivisions as you grew and matriculated through life will be turned on its head as you light and transform yourself in the paradigm around you. People know when they interacted with you, and something in your truthful energy, something in your authenticity will be able to turn these ideologies that people in these groups hold dear to on its head, forcing them, challenging them to question their ideologies, question their thought process, because they know who you are. They know what you embody, and their their worldview will be challenged by their mere interaction with you along your journey. That's another message that I'm getting here. And the last message that I'm downloading in the narration of your story is that you heal the community. How you walk through life, how you move through life, how you have unlocked the gateway of information by way of your storytelling, by way of your artistry, by way of your walk through your healing journey will heal the community by wisdom. Like I'm seeing philosophy, by the way you communicate with people and healing them by you meeting them on their level. People will look up to you almost like a social icon. The way they feel your truth, the way they feel your story, the way they feel your ideology being turned up or challenging against their thought process. One of truth, one of life, one of healing. A social icon. As you embrace or move through this change in your world, that is what you're stepping into. A new wave, a new motto for yourself to be seen in the world around you as a social icon. Very large message that I'm gathering here in the stones. Thank you all for joining me and contributing your very powerful energy to this healing circle. And with that being said, I would like to come down from this very blazing thread of consciousness and close out tonight's healing circle because I am feeling the heat. And with that being said, I'm going to close out tonight's healing circle, and I will see you all at the next